Is time travel even possible? Is there a way to skip our current time and go far, far into the future? These types of questions appear in our mind if we think about time travel. Well, the answer is, according to science, time travel is possible, but probably not in the way you're thinking. We all travel in time. We travel 1 year in time between birthdays, for example. And we are all traveling in time at approximately the same speed, 1 second per second. NASA's space telescopes also give us a way to look back in time. Telescopes help us see stars and galaxies that are very far away. It takes a long time for the light from faraway galaxies to reach us. So, when we look into the sky with a telescope, we are seeing what those stars and galaxies looked like a very long time ago. However, when we think of the phrase time travel, we are usually thinking of traveling faster than 1 second per second. That kind of time travel sounds like something you'd only see in movies or science fiction books, but could it be real? Well, there are two types of time travels. First one is time travel to the past, and the second is time travel into the future. Travel to the past is probably impossible given our current technology. If it were possible, some peculiar effects could occur. These include the famous go back in time and kill your grandfather paradox. If you did do it, you couldn't do it, because you already killed him. So therefore you don't exist and can't go back in time to do the dastardly deed. Confusing, isn't it? But there are ways to time travel into the future, and today, we will see 3 ways to do time travel into the future. Number 1. Time travel via speed. This is the easiest and most practical way to time travel into the far future. Go really fast. Well, let me be clear, you need to do a little bit of engineering first. We know through the physics of Einstein's special theory of relativity that you can trade motion in space for motion in time. If you're standing perfectly still, you're moving through the dimension of time at a particular speed, the speed of light, for those of you who are curious. As soon as you start moving through space, however, you slow down your rate of moving through time. In other words, the faster you move in space, the slower you move in time. This means that moving objects, like a clock on a rocket, run a little bit slow. 1 second for someone in a moving spaceship lasts a little bit longer than a second for someone staying still. The trick is that in order for this to have any sort of noticeable impact, you have to get close to the speed of light, which is really hard to do. To give you some perspective, astronauts that orbit the Earth at tens of thousands of miles per hour are off by only a microsecond, or so from our clocks on the ground. Our fastest human spacecraft don't even crack 0.1% of the speed of light. But if you could somehow spend a good amount of time hugging close to that ultimate speed limit in the universe, the slower your clock will run. You will travel through time into the future. Nothing will feel different for you, but after a couple of years' journey you would return to the Earth to find our clocks advanced by thousands or even tens of thousands of years, depending on how fast you go. So the future is yours, and you get to choose how quickly you reach it. Number 2. Time travel via gravity. This method of time travel is also inspired by Einstein. According to his theory of general relativity, the stronger the gravity you feel, the slower time moves. As you get closer to the center of the Earth, for example, the strength of gravity increases. Time runs slower for your feet than your head. Again, this effect has been measured. In 2010, physicists at the U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, placed 2 atomic clocks on shelves, one 33 centimeters above the other, and measured the difference in their rate of ticking. The lower one ticks slower because it feels a slightly stronger gravity. To travel to the far future, all we need is a region of extremely strong gravity, such as a black hole. The closer you get to the event horizon, the slower time moves, but it's risky business. Cross the boundary and you can never escape. Assuming you had the technology to travel the vast distances to reach a black hole, the nearest is about 3,000 light-years away. The time dilation through traveling would be far greater than any time dilation through orbiting the black hole itself. The situation described in the movie Interstellar, where 1 hour on a planet near a black hole is the equivalent of 7 years back on Earth.
Number 3. Time travel via suspended animation. Another way to time travel to the future may be to slow your perception of time by slowing down, or stopping, your bodily processes and then restarting them later. Bacterial spores can live for millions of years in a state of suspended animation, until the right conditions of temperature, moisture, food kick-start their metabolisms again. Some mammals, such as bears and squirrels, can slow down their metabolism during hibernation, dramatically reducing their cells' requirement for food and oxygen. Could humans ever do the same? Though completely stopping your metabolism is probably far beyond our current technology, some scientists are working towards achieving inducing a short-term hibernation state, lasting at least a few hours. This might be just enough time to get a person through a medical emergency, such as a cardiac arrest, before they can reach the hospital. In 2005, American scientists demonstrated a way to slow the metabolism of mice, which do not hibernate, by exposing them to minute doses of hydrogen sulfide, which binds to the same cell receptors as oxygen. The core body temperature of the mice dropped to 13 degrees Celsius and metabolism decreased tenfold. After 6 hours, the mice could be reanimated without ill effects. Unfortunately, similar experiments on sheep and pigs were not successful, suggesting the method might not work for larger animals. Anyways, the bottom line is that time travel into the future is allowed by the laws of physics. So friends, this is it for now. If you liked the video, then don't forget to like, subscribe and share it with your friends. We'll try our best to bring you such amazing facts about the universe. Till then, take care and goodbye.